Everybody, happy Wednesday. Time for the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with Chad Silver and Sydney Moore. I had nicknames for us.
Okay.
Yeah, because originally I was going to come out with Eric Chili Chilton, Chad Silverado, and Sydney I've Got More.
I've got more! I really like that.
I was like, well, maybe we'll do those.
I really like that. I approve.
And then we need to get management to allow us to create like show opens with all of our different names on
I
there.
can literally picture that in my head right now.
Like a 90s sitcom open and Chad Silver.
Or like Anchorman.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
Well, it's hump day.
It is.
Right?
And boy, is the heat kick. I'm talking, mid-90s possible for us in the next couple of days. We're going to see a string of really hot days.
And that really is the big story today. A dangerous heat wave gripping much of the nation. From Arizona, where they are on pace to have their hottest month on record. Listen to this. Phoenix hasn't gone below 90 degrees in the past 2 weeks, even at night. To Missouri and other parts of the Midwest dealing with sweltering temperatures, 2/3 of the nation is seeing temperatures above 90 degrees today.
And here at home, cooling centers and stations are opening up all across the Triad. Just this morning, Winston-Salem opened its community and neighborhood centers as cooling centers to help people get out of the heat. All centers are open to the public and anyone can come inside and cool off in the lobby area. You can find a complete list on the city's website. And the Salvation Army in Greensboro on Freeman Mill Road is also open as a cooling station. The organization says it's open on Wednesdays between 9 and 4 p.m. So it just closed for the day. But the Salvation Army says it's also providing bottled water in the lobby.
Well, we're talking about that hot weather. Let's see how hot it is outside. At least at the current time, mostly low 90s. We do have an upper 80 there, 88 in Mount Airy. Higher elevations, of course, in the 70s. But High Point 95, Burlington 91, Greensboro 91, Winston-Salem 92. A couple of 92s for Lexington and Asheboro. But if you look in the southernmost parts of our viewing area, look at Pinehurst and Troy at 95 and 94. Very hot. Now you figure in the humidity. Here's what it feels like out there with that Pinehurst reading at 100, Albemarle at 97. Across the Triad, it feels more like the mid-90s. And we will see some actual air temperatures in the mid-90s over the next couple of days. We're going to show you that 7-day coming up. Clear skies tonight, 72. Can't rule out an isolated shower. We keep it at a lower 20% though, and that's for the next several days actually. 72 tonight, which means that's your tomorrow morning temperature. And then that high tomorrow, it just keeps kind of stair-stepping up, right? 93 tomorrow, partly sunny and hot, and then reduced rain chances. Radar right now not showing a whole lot across the area. Again, it's going to be like that, very isolated at best for a shower. Tomorrow, it's less than a 20% chance of a shower, so hardly worth a mention, but 93, and then there are the 2 hot days. Friday, Saturday, 95, Sunday, 92. Next week, back to a more normal upper 80 for us for Monday, Tuesday. Best rain chances, not that great, but still 30% on Saturday afternoon and a 40% on Sunday afternoon.
Another big story we're following today. Hunter Biden, the president's son, has pleaded not guilty to 2 charges today after his plea deal fell apart. This case is not over yet. The judge in the case is deferring her decision on the agreement and has asked both parties for more information.
Hunter Biden remains in legal jeopardy after a plea deal with federal prosecutors fell apart in court. The deal unraveled when Judge Mariella Norica questioned whether the agreement gave the president's son immunity from all crimes or just the 3 charges he currently faces.
She obviously had a lot of questions today. She was concerned about the propriety of reaching a plea agreement when there are still outstanding, possible pending charges and ongoing investigation against Hunter Biden. And so she kicked the tires on this deal and at the end of the day said, look, I just can't approve this.
Biden has now pled not guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax charges and a felony gun charge. The 2 sides have 2 weeks to work on an agreement before they're due in court again. Meanwhile, investigations into Hunter Biden's business dealings will continue. Republicans say they want to hear directly from the prosecutor who recommended the plea deal. They're calling for him to testify before Congress.
We've got this weird lack of clarity as to whether the Delaware U.S. attorney was able to pursue the investigation fully, whether he did fully.
U.S. Attorney David Weiss, a Trump appointee, says he is willing to testify. Weiss has also told Congress in writing that he had the ultimate authority on the case.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Greensboro police are investigating the death of a 19-year-old. They say Brianna Arrington died this morning after a shooting yesterday on Shagbark Drive. Investigators have not shared any information about a suspect or motive.
Good news for people attempting to call 911. It appears some issues with Verizon customers has been resolved. For hours today, some local agencies were dealing with issues involving people trying to call 911. It's important to note some agencies have yet to give us the all clear, so it's possible you might still have issues.
This wild cabbage spill in Forsyth County caused some damage on Highway 52. Today, one lane is closed between exit 120 and 122 for repairs, along with the ramp at 122. The Highway Patrol says a tractor trailer carrying the cabbage was hit by another tractor trailer hauling cars. Troopers says the second 18-wheeler then caught fire, causing the damage to the highway. Officials hope to have everything repaired by 6. And a date has been set for North Carolina's Medicaid expansion. This afternoon, the state announced October 1st as the anticipated start date, as long as the General Assembly gets the new budget squared away by September. This announcement is part of a compromise agreement that will allow Health and Human Services to move forward with the required public notices for beneficiaries, counties, and providers. Officials say this will help speed up enrollment.
For the first time, we are seeing new efforts to contain coal ash after that spill in the Dan River nearly 10 years ago. This is the lined landfill that'll eventually store nearly 14 million cubic yards of coal ash. After years of construction, Duke Energy says it's completed the landfill at the Blues Creek Steam Station. As you might know, the ash is waste left over when coal is burned for electricity. The state says the landfill is the size of 68 football fields and will stand 11 stories tall. Hard to forget what happened back here in 2014. That's when a Duke Energy facility spilled 39,000 tons of coal ash into the Dan River. A drainage pipe burst, spilling coal ash into the river. At the time, it was the third worst coal ash spill in U.S. history. We'll have full coverage of today's developments coming up at 5.
Training camp kicked off today for the Carolina Panthers. WFMY News 2's Amanda Ferguson was there for the heated first practice, and she joins us live. Amanda, you spoke to some rookies at camp today, right?
First day of training camp in the books for the Carolina Panthers here at Wofford College. The team is getting adjusted to the campus life. Now there's one guy who just left that lifestyle. The 5th round draft pick, rookie safety Jamie Robinson. Here's part of our conversation from earlier today. What was it like to have your first day at training camp with the Carolina Panthers?
I mean, it's a blessing to be here. You know, it's everyone's dream to be in the NFL. So, you know, I just cherish every moment, every second that I'm out here, and just try to get better every day. That's the main goal. Just to go out before practice start 0-0, after practice be 1-0. So today I felt like we was 1-0 today. So I'm just blessed to be here.
I know, speaking about that, I know that you have a chip on your shoulder coming into the league. You thought you should have been drafted higher. Oh, yeah. How does that affect the way you're coming out here?
I mean, honestly, I'm here now, so my work just got to be like I don't belong here. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Like, I know I'm supposed to be here, but when I'm working, I work like I don't supposed to be here. So I'm just going in every day, just trying to get better, like I said. Just being coachable, you know, being humble at the same time, and just knowing that I'm blessed, you know, to be in this position, because everybody can't be in this position.
What's it like working with J.C. Horn? You know him from South Carolina, and then Brian Burns from Florida State. I
mean, Brian Burns, I knew about him just like when I was at Florida State, just watching like the Sunday Nose, like they'll play like a clip, and every week he'll pop up, you know, just making a sack, forced fumble and stuff like that. And that's how, you know, I knew about Brian Burns. But JC, you know, that's like my brother. You know, every day I was at South Carolina, I was at South Carolina with him, and we was getting it in every day. I was a freshman there. You know, he was a sophomore, and I was out there on the field with him every play. And, you know, I just know him in and out. He know me in and out.
I'm sure that helps you when you're out here.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. It makes me more confident.
Of course, there's another rookie a lot of people are excited to see out here, and that is quarterback Bryce Young. I can tell you he looked really good today in the first day of camp. We will hear from him coming up at 6.
Amanda, thank you. Panthers players arrived in fashion to training camp yesterday. The team took pictures of the athletes as they moved into their dorms at Wofford College. It's been a busy offseason for Carolina, from trading up to draft Bryce Young to hiring veteran coach Frank Reich. So, you know, how do you all think the Panthers will do this upcoming season? A lot of excitement.
It's just exciting because I've said this before, but the last 2 times we got an overall #1 quarterback pick, we went to the Super Bowl, or at least got close to it. So Kerry Collins, in one of the earlier years, we got, I think, to the NFC Championship, and then we Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl. So big hopes on this.
I've been hearing mixed reviews, mixed reaction. So, you know, obviously there's a lot of excitement and buzz around Bryce Young, but also there are no other big notable players on the Panthers anymore. They kind of got rid of anybody of note.
I think the receivers have a lot on their shoulders because Bryce can get it to you, but you got to beat out your guy.
Right.
You got to have a good receiver out there.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I'm excited for the Panthers. I'm always going to have a positive mindset, but, you know, it's exciting for Bryce Young. Like you said, so many folks are excited to have him, and not only him, but Frank Reich as well, too. He has planted some roots there with the Carolina Panthers, so this will be a big season for him, too, but wishing them all the best.
Frank Reich was at the helm a long time ago for us. Yes.
It's always good at the beginning, before the season even starts, right? Because everybody has a chance to make it to the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl, and nobody has a record yet. So every NFL fan should be optimistic and excited about the future.
Best
right?
time of the year. Yeah.
That's right. Well, Panthers Fan Fest is almost here. The celebration inside Bank of America Stadium is next Wednesday at 5:30. You can get tickets for just $5. Fans can watch the team practice, see special performances like from that guy. I don't know if he'll actually be there. This is from again. I'm sorry, I can't. And there are also fireworks that night. We will also be live at the stadium covering all the festivities. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Maybe you've heard there's a shortage of 911 telecommunication or communicators. Alamance Burlington Schools is trying to help fix that problem.
The district bought a 911 simulator and will soon start training students how to become an operator. They say it'll be a part of their public safety course, which is a prerequisite to getting the 911 certification.
Students who take the class will be able to graduate with a certification and some experience before applying for these jobs.
So this is the first time we've offered something like this. This is actually going to go in our Public Safety 2 curriculum, which is be offered next spring semester. And so that's something where they will be able to earn this, as well as a CERT certification, which is a Community Emergency Response certification. So in mass casualties, or if we had some type of terrorist event or something locally, these guys will actually be certified to go out and help the community.
4 students received their certifications today.
All right, so with this in mind, I asked you on Facebook, what kind of a class would you like to have had in high school that maybe wasn't offered back in your day, or that was and you think all high school kids should have? Jennifer says a life skills class. That's not a bad idea. Beth Johnson says the last 20 years have proven that taking home economics, life skills, shop, and other life-fulfilling classes out of the schools has been the downfall of the school system. And Betty Duggan said she thinks CPR should be mandatory for graduation. Also, we need more auto mechanics shops, or classes, I should say. And then Michael says computers. Simple as that. I think there are computer classes, but he probably meant he wished he'd had that back in his day. So I don't know. To me, finance, like home finance, personal finance.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
didn't have that.
For me, I guess this kind of goes along with life skills as well too, but also kind of a self-love, self-improvement type class to kind of help you with, learning how to focus on yourself, learning how to improve on yourself, learning how to navigate relationships and friendships, so to say. So kind of more of like a personal type. I don't know what the name
Like
of it
life
would
coach
be.
kind of thing?
Yeah, something like that to help with that, or mental health, so to say.
Mine is more tongue-in-cheek. I wish that I knew like a class to like properly put on sunscreen or properly build a sandcastle, because you know what? You would be outside and you'd be out doing things
That's
at the
true.
beach or the pool all the time.
What about if you're in high school or college, a relationship class?
Yeah,
Like with
yeah.
dating. I think that's,
Yeah.
I don't know how you teach that, but that
Right.
would be so valuable to that age
Learning
group.
how to properly communicate, that would be lesson number 1 in that class.
And how to deal with disappointment.
Rejection.
That's right, disappointment.
And Blanca Cobb could teach that
She
class.
could. All right, we're going to work on that. We'll be right back. Yeah, we're kind of bracing for all that heat, right? Some mid-90s for a couple of days in our long-range forecast. We'll show you that in a minute. Across the region right now, not a whole lot in the way of showers. See a couple of sprinkles up in our southern Virginia counties and also around Watauga County and Boone, getting a little bit of rain right now too. Because of the position of the high pressure, a lot of our late day showers are popping up right along the Appalachian and the mountain chain there. So that'll probably be the case again tomorrow. You don't see a whole lot across the region again with that ridge of high pressure, and you can see it here on the bottom of the screen as that just kind of builds and just meanders its way east a little bit over the next couple of days. We kind of cook under that dome of high pressure, and that's exactly why our temperatures go up a degree or two over the next few days, well into the 90s. In fact, if you factor in the humidity, the heat index for Thursday could be at 100, 101 Friday, 103 Saturday before we finally get a break in the heat. So the first half of our weekend will be really hot for Saturday, and then by Sunday we'll start to ease it up a little bit. Scattered, this is a future cast, so a scattered isolated shower possible in the afternoon on Thursday and again on Friday. It's kind of a repeat performance, right? But we bring those temperatures up. 93 for your Thursday. That is a partly cloudy sky. Only a 20% chance of a shower Friday, but Friday, Saturday, 95 degrees. Sunday, best rain chance. Late day pop-up variety, but 92. And we're back to normal for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Upper 80s, close to 90, and a 20% chance of that late day rain.
As sneakers take over the workplace, the fashion phenomenon is getting powerful backers in Washington. You can see the sneakers with a suit look in offices across the country and now even in the halls of Congress. Scott McFarland shows us how a group on Capitol Hill is trying to bridge the political and generational divide through shoes.
It's easy to get swept up in the historic grandeur of Congress, but if you look down, you'll see something entirely untraditional. The buttoned-up world of Capitol Hill is turning to laces.
They got to match.
Florida freshman Congressman Jared Moskowitz is trying to get Congress to catch up with the people it represents by changing part of Washington's centuries-old dress code.
As Congress gets younger, which is happening, you're going to see more and more people wearing sneakers.
Moskowitz calls himself a sneakerhead.
You have a few pairs?
Yes.
How many is a few?
Over 100.
He thinks Congress is holding on to an outdated tradition of wearing uncomfortable shoes while carrying out the people's business.
If you go to corporate America and you go into office buildings, people have already started to abandon, Oxfords.
The floodgates began to break in May when House leaders wore dress sneakers to a meeting between congressional leaders and President Biden in the Oval Office, a room which for generations has strictly been the land of Oxfords and loafers. From the cobblestones of Wall Street to the bright lights of television, for some professional men and women, sneakers aren't just fashionable, they're practical. Robin Gavon is a Pulitzer Prize-winning fashion journalist at The Washington Post.
I think there are some people for whom it is just purely a matter of, hey, these shoes are comfortable and I just want something nice on my feet.
You wear this to work. Somebody from the other party might talk to you about them.
Well, that's the whole idea.
Moskowitz and Oregon Republican Lori Chavez DeRemer have formed a bipartisan congressional sneaker caucus.
Do you find these sneakers start conversations?
They do. And
Like real ones?
it starts conversations with staff. It starts conversations with other members. It starts conversations with Capitol Police. It starts conversations with visitors. There's a cultural change happening.
Well, there are still areas at the Capitol, including right off the U.S. House floor, where you are turned away if you show up in sneakers. But as fashion changes, there are still some workplaces across America that just cling to tradition. And I say, good for them.
I do too.
Good for them.
Now, some of them, so I wouldn't wear what I would run in or work out in, but
Yeah.
if you can get stylish shoes that are still sneakers by definition, that would look good with the suit. I like what the reporter had on.
You know, like how you have house slippers. They're like house sneakers.
Yeah.
So you're not going to wear them out to do any workout or
That's right.
anywhere to get them dirty. But
Right.
yeah, I've noticed a lot of people in television news as well
I was
doing
gonna
the
say,
same thing.
I literally have done that multiple times. I'd have a nice dress on
I've
and I
seen
would
you.
have some tennis shoes on, and it'd be funny. Folks out in the community will sometimes say, "Oh, you don't have on heels," but also people will say, "I like seeing you in shoes too. I'm getting
Right.
the work done, and so I just want to be comfortable."
Plus, let's be honest, dress shoes are not that comfortable.
Right.
Like-
See, for me, I guess I'm more of a traditionalist for my own personal dress here. Like if I'm gonna wear a suit, I'm gonna go all the way
All
and
the way
wear the
out.
shoes that match with it.
Yeah,
But that's just
yeah.
me.
I'd have to hunt and see if I can find the right look. There may be
Oh, right,
something
yeah.
in between somewhere there. All right, we'll take a break. We're coming right back. Stay there.
Dog, you got the clip on the wrong side. Can you hear me, man? Can you hear me? What's up, Brad? It's Jalen. That's not how we might chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Bald eagle.
You know, this is the time of year when I feel sorry for Tim Buckley because I watch him at the hottest part of the day, which is basically right now, in the weather garden, you know?
And it's just one little move away for our producers from putting you out in the weather.
I know. Shh,
don't tell them.
Notice I've been in here all day long. You have blown my cover.
Darn it. You blew the cover by bringing it up.
I'm trying to say a heartfelt, I feel bad for Tim. You're saying make Chilton go out there.
No.
One move away.
I would not like to see you out there.
You might giggle a little bit, but
well, no, I might bring you a freeze pop.
Oh, that would work.
You do like bringing freeze pops.
I love freeze pops.
Yeah.
Me too. We used to do that when I worked the 11 o'clock show. We'd do that religiously. We kept them at the station. I don't know why. We just liked it.
Because they're good, right?
Yeah, that's right. You might need it this time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the big story today, the dangerous heat has cooling centers opening across our area. Winston-Salem, for example, opened its neighborhood centers to help people get out of the heat.
And all these centers are open to the public, and anyone can come inside and cool off in the lobby area. You can find a complete list on the city's website. And the Salvation Army in Greensboro on Freeman Mill Road is also open as a cooling station. The organization says it's open on Wednesdays between 9 and 4 p.m. So it just closed for the day. Salvation Army says it's also providing bottled water in the lobby.
All right, so Jalen Gilkey just walked in the studio, but it scared me because I thought Buckley was coming in here to give me a hard time and make me go outside. Get out. Did you? Yes, that's what I thought too. All right, let's look at the temperatures. 91 in Greensboro right now, 92 in Winston-Salem and in Walnut Cove. Mount Airy's at 87, but a 92 in Reedsville as well. Everybody's warm. 93 in Lexington and Asheboro. Now you factor in the humidity with this. Pinehurst, it feels like 100 degrees. Yeah, you don't want to be on number 2 today. 96 in Albemarle and in Burlington, 94 for Winston-Salem and Greensboro. Those are all heat index readings, not actual temperatures. 72 for the low tonight, mostly clear. It will be humid again tomorrow morning. That'll be your start out temperature. And then 93 for the high. We're starting to bring it up a degree or 2 each day until we get through Saturday. And then finally by Sunday, we get a little bit of a relief. A shower or 2 starting to develop, maybe even some thunderstorm activity up toward Grayson and Carroll counties in southern Virginia. But that's about it for anything significant across the area. High pressure taking care of that. It's a big bubble of high pressure that has stayed over us and will stay over us for a while. You notice at the bottom of the screen here, that'll be moving back to the north and we'll just kind of cook under that dome of high pressure, right? Here's your 7-day forecast, and it just gets hotter, but we do see relief, thank goodness. The next 3 days, we can make it through that, we're good. Thursday, 93, Friday and Saturday, 95. Late day shower chances, a little bit better for the weekend. It's a 30% Saturday, 40% Sunday, but those are normal readings. But it's back to dry weather again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, at least temperatures cooperating in the upper 80s, but rain chances down to a 20%.
Eric, thank you. Oppressive heat is still causing big problems across the nation. The South and Southwest have been baking for days, and now the so-called heat dome is moving east, making conditions dangerously hot for many, especially the elderly.
Blistering heat is now punishing the Midwest and building in the Northeast. Combined with the high humidity, it feels like triple-digit temperatures for millions of Americans.
As much ice and water as we can find.
But the extreme weather is dangerous for people working in the heat.
We try to just keep an eye on each other. We'll look at my colleague and say, hey, you're moving pretty slow. Why don't you go sit in the AC for 10 minutes and then circle back?
The scorching temperatures are also a big concern for seniors who have a much higher risk of heat-related illness and death. First responders say seniors must be aware of the signs of heat exhaustion.
They start to feel nauseous, weak and dizzy, excessive sweating.
So you want a little color up there.
Here at this senior center in Sunrise, Florida, the key to staying cool is simple.
I stay indoors. That's how I'm coping with the heat. I don't go out in the heat too much.
It's overwhelming, yeah. And just to go outside, even in the garden, is too much.
And don't expect to find relief with a dip in the ocean. Tuesday, the water temperature in Florida's Manatee Bay was measured at 101.1 degrees. If confirmed, that would be a global record high. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Sunrise, Florida.
And Phoenix has entered its third week of record-breaking heat with temperatures topping 110 daily.
There was a surprising development in the Hunter Biden court hearing today. His plea deal with federal prosecutors fell apart in court. The deal unraveled when the judge questioned whether the deal gave the president's son immunity from all crimes or just the 3 counts he's charged with. As a result, Biden has now pleaded not guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax charges and a felony gun charge. The 2 sides now have 2 weeks to work on a new agreement. Republicans say they want to hear directly from the prosecutor who recommended the plea deal. They're calling for him to testify before Congress.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. If you are in Forsyth County, there is a warning about tap water. You may notice a change in color. Many are reporting brown water. Officials say it is safe for drinking and cooking. The color is a result of iron and manganese, building up over time. Right now, crews are flushing lines to help get rid of the residue. If you are noticing discolored water, contact your water provider.
The Winston Tower in Winston-Salem is getting a new look. True Lion Federal Credit Union is working on getting its name and logo on the side of the building. The letters should start going up tomorrow and the logo next month.
You have a chance to make a difference in your community. Tomorrow we are teaming up with the Red Cross for our WFMY News 2 Summer Blood Drive. We'll be taking blood donations at Piedmont Hall from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can make an appointment right now on our website.
And we've just learned the defending Wyndham champion Tom Kim has withdrawn from the tournament because of an injury. He hurt his ankle during last week's Open Championship, but managed to finish and still tie for second. After getting advice from his medical team, he decided to not compete in the Wyndham. You can watch the tournament out at Sedgefield Country Club in Greensboro starting next Thursday. The third and final rounds are on our air.
Well, day 2 of the media days for ACC football is underway. All 14 teams are in Charlotte promoting the upcoming season. Today we heard from the first North Carolina team in the conference. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey has the scoop.
Yes, Sydney, day number 2 in Charlotte was all about Duke and their head coach, Mike Elko, who just yesterday signed a new contract extension that'll keep him in Durham if all things go right through the 2029 season. The Blue Devils are looking to build off the momentum of a great 2022 season, their first under Coach Elko. Duke finished 9-4 overall, including ending the season with a win over UCF in the Military Bowl. And those 9 wins were the most in a single season for the Blue Devils since 2014.
You know, there's a lot of things that we feel like we can get better at and we can do better. And so that was the emphasis. Everything this offseason has just been about elevation. And we didn't come in to have one good season. We didn't come in to have one positive moment and kind of let it all go away. We wanted to build a program. And that goes over time. And we know for us to be the program we want and to get the respect that we really want, this is something that has to happen year in and year out, and we've got to be successful year in and year out. And I don't think we're there yet.
This year's ACC football kickoff wraps up Thursday down in Charlotte. Wake Forest, NC State, and North Carolina will all meet with the media to talk about the upcoming season tomorrow. We'll have coverage for you right here on WFMY News 2.
Oh, we all know small businesses, they keep our country going, don't they? There's one in Lexington that believes in taking their product and turning it into so much more. In fact, the folks at Bull City Cider Works have make a community connection with their product. And this time, it's all about the watermelon.
We have a watermelon cider that we release yearly. It's called the Daily Run is the name of the watermelon cider. So we wanted to kind of get a spin off of that with the Watermelon Crawl being a 90s country song that came out from Tracy Byrd. And we wanted to kind of give a play off of that.
All right, so it's a common occurrence, the events at the Cider House. They take it to the next level, hosting several of these a month. They say it's their goal to bring people together.
We like to throw events based on our cider releases. So we have different cider releases throughout the year. And then we kind of like to have spin-offs of exactly each cider that we have, whether it's a Caribbean style party or a watermelon party, or, you know, just kind of give it the theme that people can come out and enjoy themselves while they are sipping our ciders. We are very community-based. We are kid and dog friendly. We like for everyone to come out and enjoy themselves and be able to enjoy not only their own families, but the community as well.
A lot of folks out there.
A lot of people. So, you know, I was talking with her and I really haven't tried a whole lot of ciders, but she said that, you know, that was the thing for a while, sparkling ciders. And so they focused solely on that, but the flavors are all over the place. People love it. In fact, so much it started in Durham, and that's why it's called the Bull City Cider Works. But now there's Greensboro, Durham, I think there's Cary, Asheville, and Wilmington. They just opened one in Wilmington, so they are doing really well.
I've actually never had a flavor of watermelon ever, like just ever. I've had an actual watermelon, but never tasted something that had the flavor of watermelon.
Have you ever had, what's the LaCroix? Not LaCroix, one of those does, Bubbly. Bubbly does a watermelon essence. You know, it's not really sweet.
Okay, interesting.
I'm just so impressed by that last picture that one you were talking about where there were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Just a really cool outdoor venue. I guess I've never been to that location.
Now those pictures were from a lot of their places, so I'm not sure if that's the Lexington one or not, or if it's one of the others. Regardless, it's really the cider and the community. She says that's our thing, is to try to bring everybody together through that. So we gotta try it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks pretty cool.
We'll be back.
The Federal Reserve raised another key interest rate today to the highest level in 22 years. It's part of an ongoing effort to fight inflation.
Yeah, the Fed's policies appear to be working so far. Inflation is sharply lower, but not all costs are coming down at the same time.
Miss, please be my guest. Try the Greek sausage, my favorite one.
At Tom's Market outside Chicago, co-owner Nick Kostopoulos says years of pricing pressure are beginning to ease.
Dairy specifically, prices have come back down to earth a little bit. Even milk has stabilized.
Dairy is usually found around a grocery store's periphery, along with the other fresh products.
These are the things that don't require quite as much labor to produce as your manufactured products.
Leo Feller is chief economist at consumer spending analysis firm Numerator.
So the perishable items, right, you have to sell them. So this is where you see a lot more discounting to try to move products faster.
Feller says supermarkets have less control over pricing on packaged products in the center of the store that require more labor.
Cereal prices are up about 10%. from this time last year. And this is because there's a lot of processing that goes on into making cereal.
Price trends at the grocery store are reflected across the economy. While commodities like gasoline are down, bigger ticket goods and services like a new car or that family vacation are still expensive.
Lots of people have adjusted to deal with rising prices, according to a recent survey. Listen to this. In the last year, about 2/3 of couples who moved in together say they did so because of finances.
Nearly 25% of millennials are still living with their parents, and one Forbes survey found 47% of adults who use payment apps like Cash App or Venmo says they split bills for restaurant meals and groceries.
I mean, we were talking about this morning on the 9 o'clock show. Everything's higher now. You know, used to we'd say, oh, well, gas prices, but then it's not food. Now it's food. But it seems like everything's going up.
I mean, when we first found out about eggs, I mean, my heart just ripped out of, ripped out of my chest. But yeah, taking trips to the grocery store nowadays is just, it's tough. It's
Lauren
tough.
Coleman said this morning that she went to buy groceries just for herself, right? And she said, I had like 3 bags and it was $78 for 3 bags of groceries.
That sounds right.
My wife, because we have 6, right? When we got into 21-year-old boys that eat like 4 men.
Oh my goodness.
When my wife told me the other day, because she handles all the food and then I pay other bills, she said, guess how much we spend per month this summer with the boys home? I said, what? Because they're home from college. $800 a month.
Oh my God.
$800 a month for food.
Is it more expensive to keep them in school or to keep them home?
It is
The truth comes
It's true,
out.
because we say your meal plan, you got your meal plan, anything over that is up to you. That's cheaper, way cheaper.
That's sad.
It is. It's crazy. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to cry, and we'll be right back.
A new study says climate change is making heat waves hotter and longer. Researchers say the record heat in both North America and Europe, which is also fueling wildfires, would have been virtually impossible without human-caused climate change. A new report by World Weather Attribution scientists say these once extremely rare heat waves are not rare in today's climate. They warn that unless the world rapidly stops burning fossil fuels, these events will become even more common, occurring every 2 to 5 years.
Heat waves are really the easiest thing that we can link directly to climate change. And increasingly, climate scientists are saying, there's no way we would have seen a heat wave like we've been seeing over the last few weeks all across the planet if we hadn't warmed the planet, if we didn't have climate change.
The planet has warmed about 2 degrees since pre-industrial times, and we're on track to reach 5.8 degrees of warming by 2100. Scientists say this month is expected to be the hottest on record. Ooh. And we've definitely seen that, just in Phoenix. We were talking about this earlier, that Phoenix has now not gone below 90 degrees in 2 weeks, even at night. In fact, a couple of days ago, their low temperature at night was 97 degrees.
Wow, at night.
At night.
My goodness.
That's ridiculous. Gosh. I can't imagine what that kind of heat feels like, especially if you have to deal with it for a month or 2 weeks or whatever.
Sorry.
Take it away. Go ahead.
I was just saying, and people always say, well, it's a dry heat, so it feels better. But I think at some point the dry heat doesn't feel good either.
Yeah. Even in that kind of weather, sometimes I think about pools and I like seeing people out on the beach, but just even when it is still that hot, it's just hard to even enjoy being in those types of environments. Even though that there is a pool or a beach.
It becomes where it's just uncomfortable. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to feel for the people who. So we all have the privilege of having air conditioning in our homes. Think about all the people who don't, or the people who are homeless. I mean, you really have to feel for those. I'm glad that some of these cities are opening cooling centers, because think about not being able to cool down at all.
Serving bottled water and all that good stuff.
All right, let's talk about our forecast. We have some more heating to do for us, but then we finally see some relief on the horizon. Now, I will tell you this, until we get to Saturday and Sunday, and really more likely Sunday, this is kind of what we'll see on the radar. Maybe 1 or 2 isolated thunderstorms. You see Grayson and Carroll County in Virginia getting a little bit of that, and right around Watauga County and Boone, but that's it so far. And the way the high pressure is situated, a lot of our afternoon showers, if we see them at all, because they've been very small and very few, have been along the mountain counties. So, and it may stay that way for about another day or so. We're not seeing a great deal of thunderstorm activity. That high pressure is making sure we don't, and we kind of roast under that dome of high pressure over the next couple of days. Temperature highs will be pushing up to the low 90s tomorrow and then mid 90s for 2 days after that. That means factoring in the humidity. This is what it looks like from a heat index standpoint. Around 100 on Thursday, 101 and 102 Friday, Saturday. Finally, by Sunday, we do get a break in that. So long range forecast, here's your 7-day. Partly cloudy, reduced rain chances. At least we have a 30-40% chance for Saturday and Sunday. And by Monday and next week, we're back to normal. We should be in the upper 80s, and that's what we'll see Monday and Tuesday.
All right, well, do you know the slogan, Discover the Rainbow, Taste the Rainbow? Well, Skittles is partnering with French's Mustard to introduce a new promotional flavor. French's Mustard flavor Skittles is basically what it is, and the partnership is for National Mustard Day next Saturday. The special edition Skittles will not be available in stores. They will be a part of a giveaway in Atlanta, DC, and New York. And while the flavor might not, of course, be for everyone, French described it as summer's yellow candy. And guys, I don't know. I don't understand.
I can't, I'm trying to, taste it, think of what that would taste like. And I am a huge mustard fan. I love all mustards, but I don't know. If it's sweet, that would be weird.
Yeah, I just feel like you'd be a brave person to try that, And when you do, I'm waiting to hear what you think, too.
If you can get some friends down in Atlanta to bring us some up here, we'll take care of that.
You can always tell when a company is feeling irrelevant. Right. Because they're like, what can we do to create mass chaos over a ridiculous flavor? Well, you did it, Skittles. You did it.
I do like the packaging, though. It looks good.
Would I try it? Absolutely.
Yes, you would.
But I also need a ketchup flavored one.
Oh,
so
no.
I can mix them together.
Let's just stop the conversation
and
now. I think we're wrapping it up now.
And a Duke's Mayo
Yes,
one?
you could just build your own little condiment bar. There you
Sounds
go.
great.
Yeah, let's go on to WFMY News 2 at 5. Bye.
My 2 cents is up next.
Oh, I'm gonna eat mustard candy the rest of my life. So yummy.
Hi there, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, K is out. That
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my
Hey, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check, mic check.
What a weekend for Barbie and Oppenheimer, or as I should say, Barbenheimer. Even though I haven't seen either yet, I enjoy being on my social media, seeing everyone dressed up to fit the themes for these two movies. When I saw folks happy, loving their outfits, and talking about how much they enjoyed the movies, it made me realize the importance of living in the moment. In fact, we heard from one woman who dressed in pink clothes, who went to see the Barbie movie during the morning time, then right after she went across the hall to see Oppenheimer. Sometimes we can be on the go so much, stuck in the past or what we wish could happen, and we forget to enjoy the present moment. Watching people take their time to dress up or even add a hint of the theme to their outfits showed how genuinely happy they were to enjoy the moment. Now, when The Little Mermaid came out, my friend and I wore mermaid-themed colors, and it made us feel more connected to not only the movie, but the moment. Okay, maybe you don't want to see Barbie or Oppenheimer, or could even care less to dress up for a movie. If that's the case, I do hope whatever you enjoy doing, you embrace it fully. That's my 2 cents, and that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.